You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. We got take two here as I get our intro right. I was jokingly saying, hey, we've got a returning guest, which is not true. We've got a first-time guest, which I am really excited about. First-time guest on the podcast, but not our first time connecting. I've met this young man a couple different times at different trade shows, and he's got a bunch of great things going on over there in Pennsylvania. So, Brock, without further ado, man, welcome to the show. How's your afternoon going?
Thanks for having me, Brian. It's been great. Nice and warm here.
Yeah. Are you guys dealing with the heat or rain or some thunderstorms rolling through?
A little of everything. We had spotty showers this morning, but definitely the heat for sure.
Yeah. We're only in the 80s, but it feels like 90, you know, with that heat and humidity. So
yeah,
it's been a toasty couple of days. I actually mowed my property for about 3 hours yesterday, did a really good job at the house. And I was just in a pool of sweat by the time we're done. And, you know, it was wide open, just baking in a 3-acre field, you know, so it's never a dull moment over there. But you guys, do you guys have more wide open properties where you're at, like flat land, or are you guys more in the hills? Because I know Pennsylvania has a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's kind of a good mix. We have a bunch of properties that are small residential and some larger residential and commercial that are wide open, lots of open mowing, which is nice. So it's
cool.
A good mix.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, glad to hear that. I know when Liz and I drove to Rhode Island one day, we went and cut through Pennsylvania the long way, and it was nothing but trees in the fall. It was absolutely serene. It was so beautiful. I've never seen so many trees and mountains all my life. It was absolutely beautiful cutting through Pennsylvania. So you guys got a beautiful state over there.
And
you're over there helping beautify it even more every single day with your lawn and landscape company. So give me the top of the hour, the like kind of 2-minute highlight reel we call it. Love to hear what you got going on, man, because you're a younger guy putting this thing together.
Yeah, sure. Well, before I start, I just wanted to honestly thank you for all the work that you put into this. And I was just thinking back to where you started and just the decision to leave True Green and pursue your own business.
Yeah.
And looking back on how far you've come and where staying at True Green would have taken you, but instead you've taken your own route and, just all the lives you've blessed. So I just want to thank you for just everything you've done for this industry. It's been a blessing for me and so many others.
Dude, you bet, man. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. I've actually never really thought about that too much.
Yeah,
where we would be 10, 15 years later down the True Green rabbit hole. I hope I would be a manager or something, climbing up the rungs. But I will assure you this is way more fun and get to help way more people. So, yeah, dude, thank you. I really appreciate that, man.
Of course. But, yeah, like I said, or like Brian said, I am 19 now and started mowing when I was about 9 years old. And I just loved push mowing. So my neighbor saw me and he had me do his property then, and I had my brother join me. So we had mowed a couple properties on our street and then ended up loading up our push mower into the minivan and went to a few more properties thanks to my parents driving us around and putting in countless hours for that. And yeah, pretty much just slowly grew the business. My brother ventured off to college, and so I kind of took over the business. And as of right now, we mow around 60 properties residentially and commercially. And it's been great. I'm full-time, and I have another full-time guy and some summer help as well. So, yeah, we're rocking and rolling as well here.
Dude, that's awesome. And you're, like you said, you're just 19 getting this thing going the last 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's awesome. What I was scrolling through your Instagram while you were talking, and just it's funny because it's kind of like a what do you call it, like a time capsule or whatever they say. So it's like going back in history, bro. And I'm looking at some of your earliest photos, and you're like a little dude, just like I was way back in the day, man. It's awesome. So how'd you get started?
So yeah, like I said, we started out with a push mower.
Okay.
A lad's push mower. Just saved up money, and our first mower, as you can see, was the Exmark Metro. I think that's pretty similar to your story.
Yeah. At a Viking, same thing.
And I mean, pretty much knew nothing about lawn care. I kind of know now. Was just out cutting, and I'm sure the quality of work was nowhere close to where we're at now. But you got to start somewhere and live and learn, make mistakes, and keep growing. But yeah, we went from the Metro and then slowly worked our way up to the Exmark Radius and eventually the Laser Z now. So it's definitely been an upgrade. But yeah, just lots of hustling throughout my years of high school and even middle school too, I guess, and working through sports and other events and just keep on grinding.
What would you say to your younger self that was looking to start a lawn care business, 5 or so years ago? Like, what was the motivation to get started, and what's some things that you've learned along the way?
Yeah, definitely. You're going to have some hard days and some days that you truly want to quit, but pushing through those times is where you have the most growth, and really working through that. And yeah, I'd just say to my younger self, just keep on taking in more knowledge from guys like yourself or other people in the industry. Like, make yourself known, get out there, talk to people. And yeah, networking's also been a huge thing that I'm slowly learning to just meeting other people. And that's how you really get connections and grow your business and just work your way up.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what got you started at cutting grass? You said you were saving up for a push mower. Was it to make some summer cash or just to have some money start coming in to buy some cool things? What got you started in the industry?
Yeah, honestly, I just really enjoyed push mowing, being outside. It wasn't like, sure, I enjoy video games here and now, but just being outdoors and it just felt good to get some work done. And as I started mowing more and more, I was like, you know what, I think I can really make this work and actually grow this into a business and not just like a fun little hobby.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, now you're grown into a business, and have you went full time in it now since after high school? Like, are you doing college too, or just running the company?
Yeah, so I graduated high school last year, and I got to say it was a little tricky because a lot of my high school friends were pursuing that college route, and so I wasn't putting classes with them. So I kind of had to push through that as well. But yeah, I decided to go straight into employment. Pretty much had enough work to keep me full time for sure, and really didn't have anything in college that interested me at the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's definitely some classes you can take to grow and expand within the industry, but nothing like crazy, I would say. And so just went straight into employment, and being full time has been great, and I have no complaints for sure.
Dude, that's awesome. Are you taking care of yourself, and are you still living at home in terms of that, or have you moved out, or just putting some money in the bank? Yeah,
so I'm still living at home. I actually bought a house at the end of last year as I was finishing up high school, and I'm currently renting that out now.
Whoa!
But definitely love the passive income there.
Dude, no way. So you're 19 with your first rental property.
Yes.
Wow. Dude, that's actually super smart, bro. That's super. I'm so excited for you young guys that are, being able to reinvest this much that early on and start building your net worth and then also some cash flow all at the same time. That's incredible. What made you think to do that or get into real estate?
Yeah, I've always had an interest in real estate. I wasn't sure when I would first invest, but I just had a house near me kind of pop up, and I was looking into it and looking at my bank account, and we knew it could work. It was just a matter of getting it, and it all worked out thanks to the Lord. And yeah, so it was pretty nice, good opportunity there. So I figured I should jump on it, and definitely worth it. I have no regrets there.
Wow. That's awesome, man. Well, and now you can continue to grow and, as that thing pays for itself over time, pull money out
Mm-hmm.
or just have a
Yeah.
debt-free property, one or the other, and keep growing that portfolio. So that is really, really cool, man. What's the plan for the business as you continue to grow? Because obviously you have about 60 accounts now, and the sky's the limit. I know the shackles, quote unquote, of high school are finally off, and you're able to
Yeah.
kind of go full time and really get the lay of the land. So what are you thinking about the company now? Have you seen a bigger vision, or are you happy with where you're at? No right or wrong answer, of course.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the goal is for the next coming years, but definitely want to grow it and have more employees, just be able to provide work for other people, and also, just grow the business and offer that service to other people in my area. I'd say eventually the original goal was to have like a shop, 3 crews, come each morning, work more so in the business and not like on the business.
Okay.
Or vice versa, I think.
Vice versa. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And grow it that way, be a little less hands-on and kind of oversee everything. So we're definitely getting to that point, but just trying to navigate what's best and what we should do next year.
That's awesome. How's social media helped you grow in terms of having that vision that you could do all this? Because it sounds like you've been on YouTube and Instagram for a while, and making content, also watching, I'm sure, a lot of other people's content. What was anybody in particular like instrumental with helping you get started way back in the day with learning how to do lawn care?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, just I definitely spent some nights just scrolling through YouTube, and it's such a great resource because you can just literally go on with any question you have and instant results. I know you've talked about how you didn't have that necessarily growing up, but it's such a great resource that's made available. Anyone in particular, I mean, I've definitely watched your videos and listened to podcasts over the years, which has been super beneficial. But even just seeing other people's setups and inspiration from them, Corey Ballard's definitely stuck out to me as well with Ballard products and Perfect Cut there.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, just trying to grow and gain knowledge from guys that have already gone through what we're going through, and trying to get there.
Yeah. What would you say is some helpful tips or suggestions to somebody maybe that's your age trying to grow a lawn care business, or they're in their second or third year? Like, what are some things that have really helped you to stay steady when maybe it got difficult or equipment was breaking down and dealing with weather delays? Like, what's some helpful tips that you can give somebody that's thinking about getting into the industry at a young age and making a go of it?
Yeah, definitely you have to know your why. So for me, I've always had a vision of just serving my community and being a resource that way. So, I mean, if you're going in it more so for the money, you can get there eventually, but you'll just kind of find out that the money's not everything in life. And you need to figure out what you're doing, why you're actually doing it, and kind of push through. Definitely huge on goals and goal setting. So writing down not only just like basic goals, but very specific goals. Just even on Google reviews, how many Google reviews you have, and stuff like that. Monetary, money goals, trying to get there. So if you have those goals set in place, then eventually, once you get to those hard days, then you can look to that and remember why you're actually doing it and kind of push through in that way.
Yeah. Dude, I love it, man. If you're not setting goals out there, whether personally or professionally, or financially, then you're just drifting. And I would say, I've said it many times, and I've heard it said many times, the only way to coast is one way, and that's downhill. So you got to go against the grain if you want to grow and if you want to set some good targets out there. So if you're young, maybe that can mean, like you said earlier, I've watched your Instagram as you've grown. Maybe one year you want this mower, then you want to upgrade in a year or two to a bigger zero-turn mower. Maybe in a
Mm-hmm.
year or two, get a different utility trailer. Then eventually upgrade to that big enclosed trailer. And it takes time. It's going to take a good 5 or 6 years. It's not going to be overnight, but it seems like a lot of your rig and setup has really come together this last year. What are you guys rocking day to day this year?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Right now we just have one truck, an enclosed trailer, and we got a dump trailer at the end of last year.
Oh, cool.
And 2 Exmark lasers, the 60-inch. And yeah, that's been a super great setup, I would say, for anyone starting out. That's definitely the go-to. I really like the enclosed trailer because, well, there's many reasons, but one, I've always heard it's like a moving billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone sees it, and it's not just mowers they're looking at, but actually you're just advertising your name and your logo and your brand, so people can look at it that way. But yeah, we started out originally with a little, I don't know, like 5x8 open trailer that barely fit a zero turn on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it worked while we had it, but once you upgrade, then you really see how much nicer it is with the bigger stuff. So
that's awesome. One thing I'm looking at one of your snow Instagram posts, and one of your friends or somebody commented, "So proud of my rich cousin." But which is sometimes it's it can look really cool to see all the growth of the company with trucks and mowers, but sometimes the bank account can be a different story. You know, some people don't understand that you got to keep reinvesting into the company, and they just see all this shiny equipment, or even the customer, they see you do a job, that takes 20 minutes or maybe a couple hour landscape job, and you're like, well, the reason is because I've got 20 grand or 100 grand of equipment on site. Like that's why.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about that for a quick second? Because you're younger, and a lot of your friends probably see you with trucks and trailers and mowers, but it seems like you've been reinvesting a lot of money back into the business, even still.
When it comes to running a lawn and landscape business, there's always something to worry about. Are my drivers and crews doing their job? Are my clients happy? Are my trucks and machines safe? How can I make more money? Where can I save some money? With GPS Track It, you don't have to worry about it, because our software gives you a level of clarity and control over your business that you've never had. From real-time vehicle and asset tracking and optimized routing to efficiency reports and more, reach your fullest business potential. Call 866-845-1410 or visit gpstrackit.com/BrianLM to get started. That phone number and special link are in the show description. GPS Track It. Start planning today to celebrate the 40th Equip Exposition Trade Show this October 17th through the 20th in Louisville, Kentucky. Expo is the best place for landscapers to find the latest equipment, tools, and technology to get more productive and efficient. And then you can go into our 30-acre demo yard and test the products for yourself. Explore new business opportunities in one of our 50-plus education sessions and learn firsthand from experts in landscaping, hardscaping, irrigation, pool installation, tree care, and outdoor lighting. And don't miss the new Thursday night arena concert with Third Eye Blind and Dylan Scott. Also, there's our UTV test track and our main stage events with top-notch speakers like Brian Fullerton, all for just $25 per person if you register during our early bird sale. And you can even save 50% off that price with the coupon code BRIAN.
Seems like you've been reinvesting a lot of money back into the business, even still.
That's always been a topic I've thought about too. And honestly, you have to spend money to make money. So as long as you keep reinvesting on things that are going to be beneficial or help you improve efficiency in the business, those are your key purchases. But yeah, like you were saying about Rich Cousin or whatever, you kind of have to press through some comments like that. And I didn't even realize when I first started out fully understand like the expenses you'll have in business. I mean, you might make $50,000 in a year, but your expenses were like $30,000. So you're only making stuff like that. So you're truly not making as much when you look at your top line. But yeah, it's definitely super important to, like I said, focus on your goals, keep reinvesting. And yeah, even as peers will look at you, just focus more on your personal growth and don't worry as much about their comments or stuff like that.
Man, that's awesome. That's great advice. What, here, I got one last question for you. And then, open mic obviously, but, what's some great things that you've listened to or read that have helped you to become a better business person or business owner this last, 5 or 6 years in your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah. Well, obviously I'm huge on podcasts.
Okay.
They have been super beneficial to me, I would say, because when you're out on the field, you're working and hustling, and there's nothing better than just listening to something to keep you motivated, or even give you advice. Sometimes I wish I had like a pen and paper to write stuff down as I was listening. But yeah, as far as specific books, I do actually want to get the Buy Back Your Time book by Dan Martell. Yeah. That was a really interesting podcast the other week. And yeah, he had some really good principles in it about subbing stuff out instead of doing everything your own to save money, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, I will tell you what, at 19 years old or even over the next few years as your life is just getting started, I would encourage anybody to start that self-help, self-development journey. And it's funny. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this just this morning, like, what is self-development? Well, you're developing yourself. Like you're, being able to understand business better, finances better, different skill sets better. And I read a ton of books. I had to, because I was very, I was very quiet, very introverted, didn't like other people. I thought like if I would just, people leave me alone and I left them alone, my life would be fine. And I actually realized like that was super potentially damaging to my ability to grow and to succeed, because, it's actually the opposite when you're a business person. It doesn't mean you have to be a backslapping, politician type person. But it does mean you need to know how to introduce yourself or make connections or make things happen. I mean, I was at a steakhouse just a couple months back, and I was there and I said, "Hey, who's it was a new site?" And I said, "Who's the store manager here?" And they said, "Oh, Chris so-and-so." And I said, "Well, bring him over really quick if you don't mind." I said, "I'm a contractor and I see the site is brand new. Maybe I can talk to him really quick about the snow." And it's kind of like a walk-in, drop-in kind of awkward, but it's also hey, I'm there. I'm going to support your business. Potentially there's an opportunity for them to support my business, which is local in the community, and so I wouldn't have done that probably at 17, 18, 19 years old, but I had learned pretty early in my 20s to start developing myself, man. So Dan Martell's book is a great place to start, and many, many more great books that we should make like a book list or something like that, like a top 20 book list.
Sure.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so many great books out there, and there's also some that are just really, really good that hit the nail on the head. So maybe stay tuned to that. Maybe that'll be a future podcast topic. So I love it.
That would be great.
Well, anything you want to add on that, man? But if not, what do you got going on for the next couple of weeks and months? Anything going landscape wise, lawn care wise that you're excited about?
Yeah, just to touch back what you were saying there, it's definitely so important to put yourself out there in places that make you uncomfortable as well as comfortable. But the uncomfortable ones are definitely where you see the most growth.
Sure.
Because you can't grow in comfort necessarily. So yeah, definitely putting yourself out there. But as far as books, another one I was thinking of as you were talking was The Blessed Life. That one's a really good one. And also Pumpkin Plan, if you read that one.
Yeah. Pumpkin Plan was great.
And both are really solid reads, I would say. And yeah, definitely good to consume information, even while you're working and putting in long hours and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, as far as the next couple of months, we have a few landscape projects, some stump grinding, and that's been fun. I enjoy that. And yeah, just lots of mowing, keep on grinding that out, and just all kinds of miscellaneous work. It is a little challenging when a customer asks to do something you've never done before. But that's always fun to try and learn and navigate through that.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it. Well, keep it going and keep it growing. It seems like you got a lot of great things going on, and man, I'm really excited about the future for you the next 4 or 5 years as you continue to reinvest and keep pouring money back into the company and back into your potential, real estate empire. I mean, how cool would it be if you were able to buy one, rental every other year or so, until your 30s before, you're, got wife, kids, all that fun stuff. And you got this, $1 million real estate portfolio that's just growing, and helping to create wealth for you and your family, man. That's awesome. So keep it going, dude. I love it.
On top of that, I would say, as far as putting yourself out there, one thing I was doing this year that I would recommend is just making a list of big businesses or even smaller businesses that you would like to work for and mow for, writing down their information and either going into their business, like you were saying, or calling them, or just putting yourself out there so they know who you are. That's been pretty beneficial for me. And it's just another way of getting yourself out there. And if they accept your estimate and go with you, then that's a whole nother customer, and definitely rewarding for that too.
Dude, good advice, man. In fact, that rings so true is, again, make sure that you're known in your community as the guy.
Sure.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're 19 or 35, just keep networking, keep passing out business cards and making introductions, right?
For sure.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right. Well, cool deal, man. Well, that's, I think all we got really, for today. I got to shift gears here behind the scenes. I actually got 2 podcasts, which I get to record this afternoon, which I'm really excited about. Both are guest interviews, just like yourself. So it's always cool to hear what you guys have going on. I genuinely say this every time when I do have a guest on. I love hearing you guys' stories. Love hearing you guys' startup stories, how you guys got started in the industry. Everybody's got a cool way that they kind of fell in or got into the green industry, and it's a fun industry. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, but you can make a good income. And there's a lot of you guys that prove that every time when we're talking to you guys on the show. And again, especially younger guys that are able to stay at home, reinvest, put your money to work faster. Like that's going to pay dividends for decades for you later in your adult life in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, man. So congratulations on all the success that you got. Great job, great work. And where can people find you, man, as we button this up?
Yeah, thanks so much. And one other thing before we get there, I just wanted to ask you, Ryan, what would your best piece of advice be for someone in my shoes who's a little bit younger, getting started off, starting to grow their business? What's the best piece of business advice you would give them?
Hey, mine is always, and it's not a soundbite, it's always figure out the life you want to live and then work that backwards. Mm-hmm. And, I used to think that people used to say, what do you want to do, all the time. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I realized I was pretty unpassionate about a lot of different topics. But when somebody said, what kind of life do you want to live? And I said, well, I want to have, a nice home, nice car, nice, whatever. Just what I like is nice, and what you guys like is nice is going to be relative. But figure out the financial income to get there. And so let's say you want, I don't know, like a modest 2,000 square foot home. You want a Tahoe, a 2021 Tahoe. You want your wife to stay home. And you're going to have, 3 kids. Well, figure out what that costs. I learned this from Tony Robbins. I mean, figure out what that life costs maybe that's an $80,000 take home income. Well, what kind of business do we need to build to get that net $80,000? And so I love what you said. Like, hey, if you do 50 grand, you're only going to make 20 on that. So, okay, if I want to make 80, then we got to do what? 400 grand, let's say in this example, maybe plus or minus. And so what's a 400 grand lawn care landscaping business looks like? Well, probably, two crews going out, a 100 plus client mow crew, and 200 grand a year landscape crew. Okay. Like now we've got the vision for where we want to grow the company, and like that business will make the income that provides the lifestyle that I want. So that's what I would suggest for you guys. It's not always, hey, more mowers, more crews, more guys. It is a means to an end. And I think a lot of people wrap up their self-image about the company that they built. And that's fine, because I love my company too. I mean, it's got my name plastered all over the side of it. I guess, just like Lawn Bros, like you and your brother, you guys are really proud of what you built. But I think there becomes a maturity somewhere along the way in the company when you realize, like, hey, it's no longer about me. It's about employing other people. It's about creating an income. And really that income allows you, like Dan Martell says, to buy back your time and to go do other things or more things, that you're passionate about. And that can be that could be 100 different things for 100 different people, of course. But I guess the bottom line is get that vision for what you want Lawn Bros to do for you. And that will probably relate to buying back your time or making enough money to be able to go do that. So if you're like, hey, I love mowing stripes and I want to sit on the mower all day, like, dude, that's totally fine too. Like, nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot of guys listening that are owner operators and they love what they do. But at the end of the day, I would figure out, like, most people don't take enough time to plan the next 5 or 10 years and then just work it backwards. Like that company I just described that's doing 400 grand. Okay, we need 3 guys in the field, maybe 4 guys in the field. This is the kind of trucks that they need, the tools they need, the CRM that they need, and let's just work towards that. And it may be your lifestyle. You want a crazy lifestyle. You want a $100 million yacht in Monaco. I don't know, and drive Lambos and Ferraris. And okay, no problem. Like, there's a company out there that will yield that lifestyle. It might be a 30,000 person company doing, $3 billion. But that there's companies like that all day long. I mean, hundreds of them, and so you just got to figure out, like, the life you want to live, not exactly what do you want to do. And they're 2 entirely different questions that put you on 2 entirely different trajectories. So does that make some sense?
Yeah, no, that's super great advice. I was thinking about, I think there was you that was saying, like, if the owner of a restaurant lost his head chef, then he's not going to be the head chef. He's going to go find one.
Yep. That was from Dan.
Yeah. That's some great advice too.
Yeah.
To find a guy and not necessarily be the guy when you're trying to manage everything and operate in the business too.
There's a really good guy, Sam with Etch Outdoor. He was on our spring shop tour series, and really cool dude. I really like Sam. And Sam knew from a young age he wanted to be an entrepreneur. And it doesn't necessarily mean be the guy in the mower. It just means he wanted to own a company in the community, provide jobs for people, and he wanted to be a business person. And he's living out his dream right now. Like, he would be, quote unquote, a success. Now his company just happens to have 35 guys doing a couple million, but it wasn't like the semantics of the type of company he built. It was the identity of him wanting to be an entrepreneur and owning a company that did a couple million, so he's like, people rag him on his Instagram and his TikTok because he wears skinny pants and little ankle biter pants and dress shoes, and he's like a little bit more little more metro. But people say, well, you don't look like a landscaper. And he's like, I'm not. I'm an entrepreneur. There's a difference. And entrepreneurs hire landscapers. It's just a little bit of a mental shift there. So again, if you're you're an entrepreneur, you can own, a bunch of trucks and employ a bunch of irrigation techs and mow guys, landscape professionals. But that's just a different level of how you want to play it and how you want to see the game. So yeah, it's again, like maybe you're a real estate professional, but your lawn care company is the financial seed money to go buy, a rental home every year for the next 10 years and have a portfolio of $1 to $3 million worth of rental properties. And so it could just be a means to an end, man. It's really, again, where you at on that game plan, where you at on this timeline of working your 5 or 10 year plan. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think along with that, it's also you have to have a mind switch to kind of change. Whereas instead of I could save money if I go out and do this, instead of that, how about I send someone else out to do this instead of myself, because I would be so-called losing money if I have someone else do it, but it's free if I do it myself.
Yep.
And that was definitely an obstacle for me, which still is overcoming that. And along with that is knowing your numbers to make sure you are priced right when you do have employees, and making sure that you're not priced for just you running the company because it's free, because you're not actually necessarily paying yourself an hourly rate.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, we're learning that every single day. I mean, I know we put out a lot of info, but I'm learning and doing the exact same stuff that you guys are doing every single day to grow our company. Like just the other day, I told Liz, like, I was doing a bunch of weeding and all this other mess, which is fine and great. And we had a VIP commercial site that needed they're having a site inspection on Thursday. So they asked us to, just make sure it was tidied up, like blank check. So I was there. My guys were there. We had 4 guys on site, just kind of cleaning up some weeds, some shrubbery, spraying some cracks, just a bunch of stuff, making sure like everything got done. And I told Liz, I said, I realized like I'm in the field still, like and you always will be, like you'll grow, then I've always said you grow and you add, and then you grow with people. But I said, like, we need another truck for plowing. We need another truck for an enhancement crew, for just weed pulling or pruning. Like there's already enough work there for us to add another truck and guy, if not 2 guys full time. So I'm telling you guys, not like theory of what I think you should do next. You know what I mean, Brock? I'm saying here's what I'm doing, and here's what I know you need to be doing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of that's something that I'm living out every day and still earning it and trying to be as credible as possible, putting out all the content that we are, saying, hey, here's what we're doing, and that's what I suggest that you do, because that's what's changed my life, and hopefully it'll change your life. So yeah, amen, dude. It's exciting. It's exciting.
For sure.
But check out that book. I was just going to say, check out that book from Dan Martell. That's a great one. Robert Kiyosaki's books are great. The Rich Dad Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant. Those would be like my couple of first, introductions to those kind of books, and then you can grow from there. But that being said, dude, I do have a pretty hard stop now because I got to get running and shift gears really quick, and I got another one back to back here in about 2 minutes. So, where can people find you, man? You on Instagram or Facebook, or where are you guys active?
Yeah, we have Instagram, Facebook. You can find us at lawn.bros on Instagram, or lawn-bros.com online. Check us out. Shoot me a message, and I'll get back to you. Or lawnbros@windstream.net for email.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And just love all the content you're putting out, and I appreciate all that you're doing, Brian.
Dude, 100%, brother. Well, thanks for taking time out of your day. I know you're taking a quick break and lunch to knock this out. So, man, I'll let you get back to mowing that grass and making that cash and striping up those lawns over there in PA. They always look beautiful. You guys have some great looking lawns out that way. So keep it going, man. Yep. Give them a follow on IG, guys. And that's what I got, man. So I'll catch up with you here soon. All right, brother?
Awesome. Sounds good, Brian.
All right. Thanks again, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for listening into this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, guys. In this year of 2023, it's Lawns, Lessons, Life, helping you guys build real, authentic lawn care businesses. We love you guys. We appreciate you listening in. Hit that follow button in the top right corner where you guys can get notified of all new podcast episodes as they come out 3 times a week to give you guys that shot in the arm of motivation and a little boost of pep to get you guys going through the work week. And we will look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next episode.
When it comes to running a lawn and landscape business, there's always something to worry about. Are my drivers and crews doing their job? Are my clients happy? Are my trucks and machines safe? How can I make more money? Where can I save some money? With GPS Track It, you don't have to worry about it, because our software gives you a level of clarity and control over your business that you've never had. From real-time vehicle and asset tracking and optimized routing to efficiency reports and more, reach your fullest business potential. Call 866-845-1410 or visit gpstrackit.com/BrianLM to get started. That phone number and special link are in the show description. GPS Track It. This is your invitation to Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023 in Novi, Michigan, Saturday, November 11th. The lineup is power-packed. You won't want to miss it. Learn from incredible speakers like Leroy Maines, Keith Kalfas, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Sam Gimble, Weston Zimmerman, and Jeff Joyner, just to name a few. Tickets are on sale now at the early bird registration price of $197. And hurry, because seating is limited to just 300. Now through August 31st, purchase the whole ball of wax and receive a free ticket to LAL 2023, a $200 value. Once you purchase your ticket, you'll be added to our private Facebook group where you can network with other attendees, get access to the discounted hotel room block, and get the inside scoop for the Friday night party, brought to you by Kohler. Thank you to this year's sponsors, Exmark, Sure Track Trailers, Yard Book, and Boss Snowplow for helping to bring this incredible event to life. We can't wait to see you November 11th, Novi, Michigan, at Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023. Get your ticket today at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com or use the link in the podcast description. Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.